Hi and welcome to another Watch Geek video. Today we take a look at an AVI-8 Mustang P-51 limited edition watch. The company behind AVI-8 is the same company that is behind Spinnaker watches, but unlike Spinnaker, AVI-8 usually makes quartz watches with an occasional limited edition mechanical. The first model I reviewed was their Centenary, that was inspired by different eras of the Royal Air Force. In that same fashion, this model is inspired by the legendary Mustang P-51 fighter plane used by both the US Air Force and the Royal Air Force during World War II. This watch is limited to 1,490 pieces per version, and each watch is individually numbered. Whenever AVI-8 comes up with a new model, they contact me and offer to send one in for a review. After Centenary, I pretty much refused every model they offered as they simply weren't my thing. They were usually 45mm quartz chronographs, and although some of them looked interesting, I didn't find myself liking them much. This, on the other hand, I liked as soon as I saw the renders, so I accepted the offer. When the watch arrived, the first impressive thing was the packaging that is almost the same as the one used for the Centenary. The box is large and made out of ballistic nylon with an additional Velcro strap and strap changing tool inside. The setup of the box and the double closing belts remind a bit of the Speedmaster box. Overall, I like it as it gives the impression of a more expensive watch. But what about the watch itself? With its diameter of 43mm and a lug-to-lug of 51, this is as large as I would go when it comes to my 6.8-inch wrist. I would personally like it to be smaller, as usual, but even like this, it is wearable. The thickness of 13mm appears deceiving as the watch does wear thinner thanks to the rounded sides and a sloping bezel. The case shape is somewhat streamlined and I like it very much. It thins out all the lines somehow, making the watch blend with your wrist rather than looking like a lump of steel. The finishing is a combination of polished sides and brushed tops. The polishing on this is very good, just like on the Spinnaker hull I reviewed, with mirror-like finish. The crown is protected with the Panerai-styled crown guard that has 6 little prongs that are inspired by the 6 exhaust pipes found on the Mustang. Although the idea has a story behind it, I can't say I like it. It can make operating the crown a bit harder, and if it was up to me, the watch would be better off without it. The crystal is a slightly domed sapphire, and underneath is the star of the show, the sandwich dial. Both the dial and hands are aviator inspired, but with a modern twist. Large stick markers with the traditional dot triangle are on a raised chapter ring, while the main hour numerals are large cutouts. Just like other AVI-8 models, the numerals come with a 0 in front of the hours and a simple 0 instead of 12. I like that as it is becoming their defining feature. There is an additional plate that houses the 6 and 9 markers that adds to the already multi-layered dial. In my opinion, it is a bit unnecessary, but I think the designers wanted to give a counterbalance to the small red plate at 2 o'clock. That plate that gives the illusion it's bolted onto the dial is my favorite part of it. It adds a bit of flair, but also has more to it than you first think. Not only does it give the VPH data, telling you that the movement inside vibrates 21,600 times per hour, or 6 times a second, but I also love how it is color matched to the red seconds hand that displays those 21,600 motions per hour. Now, if the red color splash stopped there, it would have been perfect. But sadly, they also applied it to the date window. It makes the date window pop too much for my taste, and like I said, ruins the color coding of the BPH. The hands are large and reach all the way to the edge of the case, clearly touching their designated markers. The only downside is the somewhat large counterbalance of the minute hand that tends to block a large part of the hour hand when they're opposite of each other. The watch is powered by the Seiko NH35 movement that has both hacking and hand winding, and is visible through the clear caseback. There's also a star logo of the US Air Force at the center of the caseback as well. Now the package is rounded with a stitched leather strap that has to be one of the most supple and soft leather straps I have tried. I really love the way it feels on the wrist, and I don't think I'll be switching to the optional Velcro anytime soon. So all in all, this is a modern looking take on the aviator style watch that comes with great legibility and unique style. What I love especially is that even though it is a 43mm watch, it gives the illusion of the dial of a 47mm one, because of the long hands and the markers that are moved all the way to the very edge of the dial. So if you like the look of oversized watches because of their large dials, but have a puny wrist like mine and can't handle the large size of the watch itself, this thing is a great alternative. Well, that completes this week's video, so thank you for watching. I hope you enjoyed and found it useful. If you did, please like and subscribe, and until the next video, bye.